Heartopia is fumbling, and to make sure that we are on the same page on what that means, I'm going to Merriam-Webster, their website, and looking at the verb fumble, D blunder. That is the one we're going to. Click on the blunder, and what we have number 2 definition of blunder: to make a mistake through stupidity, ignorance, or carelessness. This is the definition we're going by when I say fumble. This definition too is what I'm referring to when I use the word fumble. So I'm gonna give you, I think, 4 to 5. I think it's gonna be 5 blunder categories and explain each one and finish this video on why this matters. Heartopia, if you did not know, is a free-to-play game on computer and on mobile. It's whether on you play it on TapTap or you play it on Steam, you can get it either way. And it released around or on January 7th. Depending on your time zone, it could have been January 8th of 2026. So technically, it's literally not even a whole trimester out yet. Yet, the game has had a lot of issues starting in January. Blunder 1 is Heartopia team. The game is developed by XD. Did not disclose that they were using generative AI images and some of the game, and the players discovered that. Mostly the puzzles. If it was, to my understanding, this is an article on thegamer.com by Jack Coleman, just to reference where it's from if you want to go and look this up for yourself. This statement after gamers brought up the issue and noticing that the puzzle images, some of them were suspect looking, and everyone was allegedly saying it was AI. So they did admit that yes, some of the puzzles, but also there was an end-game chat to help players understand different languages. I have friends who have said that the translator is helpful for them. I have not used the translator, but I have done puzzles. And here they said monetization content in Heartopia does not include AI-generated material. Should any AI-assisted content be used in the game in the future, it will be announced in advance. Marketing materials produced outside the game, including those created by third-party suppliers, are not covered by the scope of this disclosure. Thank you for your continued support and feedback as we build Heartopia together. And even this article, they said that the announcement had a negative reception on the game's Discord server, with moderators threatening to time out users for speaking about the issue. Remember this, Pat. Okay, it's gonna come back later. Whether you're for AI-generated images or against AI-generated images in games, the issue here is that they did not disclose it to leave players, such as you and myself, the choice whether they would like to participate in the game knowing this information or not. So it's normal that they have backlash to that. Disclosure does not cover third-party usage of AI, it's just their usage. And they did admit that the life fragments include AI-generated images, and that's all from getting the bond level with the penguins to level 4 during this winter frost season. One thing to note though, that the puzzles which they have admitted to using AI-generated images for is a very common reward or fine in the game. So it was a very normal reaction to have backlash when it's a big part of the game. You're seeing already, this is my home, I have a puzzle out, and actually this is one of the penguin puzzles. So this could be allegedly made of AI, but even besides that, there's like a bunch of puzzles. You don't have to buy them. They're just rewards in the game. And I'm just gonna scroll down. I haven't bought puzzles in a very long time. And all of these I got just playing the game and getting rewards and things like that. So it's just something you get within the game. So it is part of Heartopia. You don't have to play the puzzles if you don't want to. You don't have to chat and use the translator. So that was one first blunder. The glitches in the game, even though it's not showing right now, my game, depending on if I'm playing with other friends on like a server with friends that are trying to interact with me, or if I go to the concert, or even if I fish, especially if I'm streaming, I have issues within the game where the game gets stuck. And you can see in the live on my YouTube with the concert, I was stuck at a point. So it's very common that happens to me, so much so that it affects my gameplay. And I thought it was a my computer issue because I am playing on a lower quality, but it actually is more common than I thought once I did research to prepare like this video, that other people have expressed that they got stuck or they get stuck in the air. And yes, there is like a repositioning item. If you did not know, you go in settings and you can reposition. Whenever you reset position, it will put you, but sometimes that doesn't fix it and I will still be stuck. And this has happened on Twitch, on YouTube. This has happened without streaming, just me playing the game. So just know that that as well is an issue with glitches, given that this game, yes, it is free, but it had a beta test, which I've been playing before January 7th when this game was released. And their glitches were expected, but now we're in March and the game is still glitching. So yes, they have maintenance, things to notice, and I can understand it's on mobile, it's cross-platform, it's free. So we should like be tolerant on things. But that leads me to my next point of blunder or fumble number 2, the gacha system in this game. If you do not know, there's different like banners of gacha. There's the Forest Bell, there's the Rainbow Power, which is the My Little Pony collaboration, and there's even like secret recipes. But even before that, when Heartopia first started, and as I mentioned, it's a free game, there was a free gacha. And I made a video from the start about that, where I was like, okay, we have a free one where you have end-game currency to use and get certain things, and they could have given you like certain things duplicate, but the main like items, there was a set amount. So you had to like do things in the game to get the coins to do the gacha. That I was like, this is such a neat way to, you know, have something where even if you're not spending your in real life currency, you still have something where you can play. But since then, I feel like they started as that to ease us in so we don't notice how aggressive the gacha got. Like, not only in my vision of things, I asked my friends, they found it was also very much expensive. But even when you go and check the most recent collaboration post that Heartopia announced, you see that the first comments I marked off the commenters for their privacy are about the gacha. Please make the post cost less. Yay, something new funny, but fix gacha. Please fix the gacha rate. It's too high. And even if it's not about the gacha, it's about making things in game costless. Based on my polls in the gacha, I decided to do a graphic to see how bad or excessive the gacha is actually. In pink, you can see my polls. That's what you're seeing here in the numbers, the number of the draw and how much it costs and the tickets in game. And I did not purchase any extra tickets. I did get gifted from a friend a Gilded Acorn like pass. So whatever tickets I got was for either from that or from me just playing the game. And so I ran out of tickets before being able to even reach the 6 draw, which would give me the car, I believe, from my understanding, based on what they said in Heartopia. And you can see by this graphic or chart that I made, in pink are my draws. And here is the exponential shred line options. And it's literally exponentially growing every time I draw. And I did not get the car. But on that note, though, we can also talk about how the tickets and the game itself is problematic or are problematic. And I'll let you know why I say that. The tickets are problematic as well because if you go and check, Heartopia now gives us time limited tickets, which wasn't present, at least when I played the beta or the alpha, basically the pre-release of the game. And at the start of the game, we didn't have this. We only had the regular tickets. So this is, again, a way, in my opinion, so I'll say allegedly, to get you or force you to use your tickets. So you can't do this anymore, which I did in previous gacha. I didn't use all my tickets. I saved some so I could draw again the next event, which worked. But now they're giving us a lot of the rewards, these time limited exhibition pass, which expires the 1st of April. So if any other event happens past that date, I couldn't save 70 of the tickets for this. So it kind of forces you to play gacha so you feel like it's not wasted. And honestly, I'm getting those tickets way more often because if I go to the event of My Little Pony, which you're seeing right now, you see that all of the ticket prices are the limited time ones. So again, that giving me less than a month to use these. So it's like, okay, not only is your gacha super excessive, plus the tickets to use on the gacha are time limited if I get them for free. I'm sorry, that's predatory to me. I don't know how else to say it. And I think it forces you subconsciously to say, well, I got to do it now or I'm wasting it. Listen, just for giggles, let's see. Let's see if I actually get the car if I pull now. I have one draw left, yet I don't have enough to buy this. So, I can't do it. And they're saying, hey, if you want the exhibition, you need 620. I still can't afford one draw to actually win the car, even though I'm in a spot where I got a gifted Gilded Acorn pass. So I got some pink hearts, but I also got the limited time offer tickets, and I have some tickets left. Yet I still cannot get the car, even though I play every day the game to do the request. I'm at the maximum level. I won't be after filming this video, but at the time of recording, I'm at the maximum level and still can't get it. The gacha system is excessive. If this is not proof, please give me an example of what else could be proof that something is wrong. Number 3, even if you only use endgame currency, things are expensive as well. And some of the use cases of these expensive things don't necessarily make sense. Let me explain. Yes, it's a free game. You don't have to play the gacha if you don't want. Only do endgame currency stuff. Agreed. That's what I've been mainly doing. But that still has a limit because when you check and want to play or do certain things, like for instance, you're upgrading your developer guild, that costs money. You're seeing the money I have there. But if you want to get plots to unlock other things, that costs money. That's the plot of each cost gets exponentially, and I think it's over exponential. I did not do a gacha for this one, so I can't check. So I'm saying exponentially just to illustrate. Gets heavily more expensive as you do it. I'm unlocking one right now just so you see the cost as you go closer to unlocking all the plots is a big chunk of your money. And even beyond that, and I think the game is glitching right now live as I'm talking to you about the game having glitches. But anyway, not only plots and building, when you go to the lab, once you unlock that level in the DG guild system, the lab, which is mostly like different technology and changing the colors of certain furniture, it gets expensive because the first level 1 to unlock is 50,000, or I should say to go from level 1 to level 2 is 50,000. To go to level 3 is 100,000, plus you need to get the points to get to this, plus you need to spend to do the research for each item as well to afford the level up. Again, it's a lot of money. Yes, you have to go do the quests, grind. Yes, you can cook to sell things as leveling up. The hobby system is fun in the game. I will give you that, because as you unlock hobbies, you get more recipes, you get more fishing. That's what kept me going to play every single day, besides, you know, catching up with your friends when you can and the game doesn't glitch me. Some stopping enjoyment with other players in the game. It makes you more in a grind mentality when this is supposed to be cozy. But that's my opinion. At a certain level, you unlock the possibility of getting a private island, and that costs money as well. But this user, which you're seeing on TikTok, EJX Heartopia is the user, published this video on what you can do once you get a private island.
You can't use your stove and workbench.
What do you mean?
You can't plant flowers. Neither gardening. There is no option to take pictures and your watch. is also unavailable. That means you won't be able to change clothes. How do you plan to use this island? I am open for ideas.
Allegedly, based on this creator's video, I did not unlock the island. I didn't have the coins or the patience. I was just busy focused on daily requests. I'm not gonna lie. But they're looking at a storage place or warehouse if you're playing solo. I can imagine that you could use the island as a community gathering space, as if you're a content creator, even if you have a big friend group. If one person unlocks it, I think you can invite people to your island. But I did see on Heartopia, I think it was an announcement or something of that nature. I don't have the graphic, and if I do have it, I'll put it as a screenshot in the video on YouTube, that you could rent an island, and that costs currency. It was something weekly, and I remember seeing that and saying, that's wild that you have to rent in the game. And I'm saying, oh, it's a free game, they're just trying to make money to keep it running. Then I remembered XD is a big corporation. Heartopia is not made by an indie small developer company. XD Inc., based on File and Reader website, is saying the company attributes this 77.4% profit surge for the full year of 2025 to the strong performance of self-developed games, including Heartopia. Okay? So they're making bank. We don't got worry about that. Okay? Somebody in the comments gonna say, well, that's how they're making bank. They have to price it so they can get this. But 77.4%? That is huge. Allegedly. On the topic of paying excessively for what and for why is blunder number 4, which is paying for anything that is diverse in the game. I brought it up before in the past on YouTube and Twitch how there was not much hairstyles available. Like the curliest hairstyle is this, or the long hair one. Is it this one? I might not have a long hair one. It's literally, this was the most wavy hairstyle. There was nothing like really for free to show, hair with texture besides wavy or straight. So if you want a black hairstyle or something that's different from straight to wavy hairstyle, you have to literally go to Doherty's and purchase the locks. Either it's 6,000, or even for any variation, you still have to pay stars. You can't just have locks as a default for free like the other styles, which is, again, kind of odd. And plus, there's no other hairstyle since, at least from my knowledge, that could reflect textured hair. Again, unless you want to count this as wavy, because I have my hair right now today in curls, so this could be it. But even this, there's no little frizz. You see a gacha paywall of something similar when you look at the forest spell elf ears. If you see the one that's locked, it's this skin tone, but if you go in exchange rate, if you do unlock this, you still will need coupons to unlock other skin tones. Why would that be black? Why wouldn't you unlock all the skin tones corresponding if you get the ears? That seems logical to me. That 4th fumble is actually also linked to this 5th fumble, which is racism, which I learned about thanks to 2 content creators, which is Yan's Cozy Arcade and Punctum, which I will link their videos so you can have their detailed explanation, where I got the original clip that is now deleted from Heartopia of the racism I'm referring to, which is the NPC Capel Bazaar Mushroom side quest, so I should say hidden quest if you unlock it, which is in the game. I will show you. It does show in my map. It's still there. I do not have Bazaar Mushrooms, so I had not played it yet. Show you the scene in question and let you see for yourself the issue.
He suddenly loses control of his body and begins jumping and flailing around monkey-like.
Following that cutscene, Heartopia removed the racist NPC animation because there was backlash after. This is an article by Rhiannon Bevan on thegamer.com if you want to do your research and read it for yourself. And they issued an apology, but it was a statement more so, in my opinion, on their Discord server, which to me, if you do, just in general, manners of apologies, and whether you're a company or a person, if you do something publicly, as in the game, this like statement or apology should be also in the game. So I feel like this is a statement that was only on the Discord, and it should have been something like how they do update notice about maintenance and things like that, to say this has been removed because of this matter. The same way they have their terms of agreement, the users, like they could put a statement the same way and say, hey, it has come to our attention, XYZ, we're sorry, we now know, we changed it, XYZ. Why is it in a Discord that I'm not even a part of, and I've been playing the game since before release in January? If I didn't hear about the backlash, or if Yan's Cozy Arcade or Punk Shrooms didn't make that video, I wouldn't have known, for instance, because they changed the animation and they did a statement on Discord. I'm not part of Discord, as I just said. I repeat it twice for emphasis. This was their statement. It has come to our attention that certain players have raised concerns and criticism regarding the conduct of Capital Endgame, non-player character NPC, following an incident in which he inadvertently consumed a poison mushroom and Heartopia. The initial intent behind Capel's reaction was to accurately depict the symptoms of dizziness and loss of bodily control resulting from poisoning. We have since promptly removed this action. We sincerely apologize to anyone who may have felt offended. They have said they apologize. They have the statement. But again, to say that was accurately representing symptoms of dizziness does not make sense. If they were saying we tried to make it humorous or something like that, but that's not accurate. If you have food poisoning, you don't do that. Nobody, from my knowledge, does that. To make the character that is darker skinned to do that, knowing the connotations, or if you're not knowing, ignoring the connotations. As I previously mentioned, XD has allegedly made a good amount of profit, so they could have a third-party consulting group to avoid issues of this nature, especially if you get a group of different backgrounds, so these type of things will not escape by ignorance, which again, go back to the start of this video, why I started with a definition of fumble and blunder, so we all on the same page of what we're referencing and talking about definition wise. And I'm not done, because Pump Shroom's video shows what they replaced the animation with. As you just saw, instead of making him be sick and maybe run to the bathroom or to his home to rest or something until the next day, they decided to just replace the dizziness they wanted to accurately depict based on their apology with dancing. That does not make sense to me, but that's what they decided to do. I will tell you once again to watch both Punk Shroom and Yan's Cozy Arcade video as they go into detail of other racism happening with the player base of Heartopia that I'm not going to get into in this video. They have a very thorough explanation in both their videos, and probably more videos have been out since about that. I am going to go and continue on why all of this matters and why these fumbles are significant moving forward, not only for Heartopia, but for any other games following Heartopia. I'm pausing me playing Heartopia as I presented this game on YouTube and on Twitch. I want to be on two of those platforms to express why I'm pausing it, and all of these explanations are part of my reason why. I think the last blunder / fumble, the fifth, was kind of the nail in the coffin for me. But obviously Heartopia has been making fumble after fumble, blunder after blunder, and I feel like the censorship is now allegedly happening where there's Discord messages being deleted or allegedly people being banned or muted for even saying anything since this NPC situation was happening. And if you remember the beginning of the video and the first article I told you when it was the not disclosing the AI part, there was a little mention in that article too of it being suspect that some of the message have been muted. So this is something that's been ongoing where it seems like even referencing something wrong, giving valid criticism, looks like allegedly not being well received. So that is something again I think matters because Heartopia is not the only free game I spoke about in my 26th game for 2026. That video is the first video I mentioned Heartopia in. Putty Planet is coming out this year as well. And Hoyoverse, which is the company developing Putty Planet, they might do gacha because there's games they've made previously with gacha systems. So I hope they're looking at what's happening with Heartopia and trying to make, hairstyles, more options, more skin tone options, and that the gacha system is not something as aggressive. It is going to be free to play. It's a whole different premise with some elements the same since Putty Planet is in space. It's not exactly the same as Heartopia. I feel like Heartopia is more hobby based and Putty Planet, I haven't played it. I haven't played the beta of it or the test. It's closed now, but there was an open season where you can play. So hopefully soon I'll be able to test that. Either that, there's also Lafia coming out soon. What is different with Lafia is that you will have to pay to play, but they also talk about having some microtransactions, but only for cosmetics. And that worries me a little bit because Heartopia was like, it's free, only cosmetics it would be like gacha. So I hope this is not a way to say they're going to have a system of that nature when we're already paying for the game if we do choose to purchase the game. Because I'm like, if we're paying to play, it should just be the game, the full game. And yes, you do need to exercise your own will and strength and not do or pay or use your in real life currency out of your own pocketbooks or pockets if that's not what you want to do. But still, there's a lot of ways, like I've showcased in this video, you can go roundabout way and get someone to start using it, even if that wasn't their intention in the beginning. Also, the game Paralive that is coming out soon, and that game is pay to play as well. But in their commercial of the game, they're saying there's no DLC, there's no microtransactions in the game. It's gonna be completely, once you got the game, it is a game and you'll get free updates. Right now, the free-to-play market is cozy game is still open, in my opinion, and there's so much potential. This is why Heartopia's fumbles are significant and they matter, as the other games to come and that are in development are going to look at this situation and hopefully do better and not keep the status quo. I'm disappointed with Heartopia, especially as I play this game with different friends located in different places in the world. And unfortunately, now there's one thing less I can't enjoy with them because of all the backlashes this game has, even though it's saying how it's a cozy life, relaxing simulation game, yet there's so much non-relaxing parts happening behind the scenes or within the game. I hope there's real change. But until then, I am going to pause and maybe and definitely not go back to Heartopia. Maybe I'm Sissa, maybe I'm not, but you can call me Rice because that's my nickname. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to comment and share respectfully your opinion on all what I've explained. And most importantly, take care. See you in the next video. Bye. Lord God in heaven, Jesus, help me edit this for it to make sense. Amen. Thank you.